Okay, so yeah. Okay, so let me just get started. Any questions, please put them in the chat. I will address them. Okay, and a bit about me. I didn't study. I didn't do my undergrad here, like most of the parents who are on the call. I studied in India, and I was frustrated with the lack of opportunities or even clarity in the college process. So I made it my mission to demystify the college admission process. Right, I left my corporate job. It was quite a corporate misfit to start this whole thing, and it's been 4.5 years. 2020 is when I quit my day job and went into this full time, and the pandemic happened and I survived all of that, and I'm still here. Okay, and launching all different kinds of programs and testing them out. Okay, my certifications. I'm a Tony Robbins certified life coach. I use his mindset mastery, his communication, reading people, all that in my coaching methodology. The most important methodology of Tony Robbins that I use is immersion. Immersion is learning a lot of things in a very short amount of time. So it's like compressed learning over a very short amount of time. And that forces any human being to flex the muscle called their brain. Okay, so that is what I do. And also I'm a positive psychology coach, an ADHD coach. I'm trained under Peg Dawson. She's a leading executive functioning skills coach. Executive functioning skills are the prefrontal cortex of the brain. That is where all the 12 skills are, which is like prioritization, organization, focus, and everything. And that is the part of the brain that is still growing. But all the demands around the high school students like make them use that prefrontal cortex of the brain, which is still developing, right? It's like kind of sad, but that's what I do, like coach them into the different study methodologies, like planning everything out, like organizing them. Okay, so Gen Z is a very, very intelligent breed. Okay, their brain processing power is almost 3x more than ours. But what they lack is the kind of structure and the discipline, right? And if you provide them, they are just diamond in the rough. I just love working with high school teens. I have zero patience for anything or anybody in my life, but I can work for hours together with high school students, okay? And I did my career counseling from UC Berkeley, and that counseling was like really, really hard. We had to present like 5 college reports, and we had to learn all about the teen brain and everything. And I use UC Berkeley's methodology in all my counseling program, okay? So I do have a special freebie. I'm going to announce that at the end, which is super useful. Trust me. Okay. And so yeah. So who is this whole effort for? Right. Let me just qualify you. You want to skyrocket your success. You're in the right place. Okay. And trust me, I expect parents to be unapologetically ambitious for your children. Okay, don't think that you're putting pressure on them or anything. You need to like show them the different of the avenues that are there right now. If you don't, your neighbor is not going to. So don't think that you're going to put pressure on them or anything. Hard work did not kill teens. Okay, it's like video games that kill them. Okay, and you want to outplay competition. It's intense. The college arena is intense, and the acceptance rates are becoming single digits. I'm so scared it might even fall down to the minuses, right? So that is the way it is, and you have to be ahead of the curve, ahead, be the top 1% to get into those colleges and get the most scholarships. Okay, I see parents on the hamster wheel trying to look for scholarships, and they feel like, oh, if I find that scholarship, my job is done. Okay, it's not that at all. It's not finding the exceptional scholarship that's out there. It's all about building the profile. You need to answer the question, what is in my child's profile that makes them attractive to that scholarship or the school? That's the only thing. How can I make my child stand apart? That is a question that you need to be asking. Okay, and we want to make our children eternal learners. Okay, that's the number one thing. Learning does not stop. Like if you have all of these aspirations, you're in the right place. Okay, and okay, the agenda for today, I have it, but I usually don't follow any kind of agenda. This is not for you if you're looking for shortcuts. Okay, certification is not a shortcut. It's actually a very long drawn process. Okay, and you feel like your child needs to put like very limited work. It's not going to happen, and you expect like minimal effort, overnight success, nada. And if you expect like poor or like substandard effort, it won't work. And also, if you're seeking for a deal and not quality, gifted gabber is not for you. Okay, you feel like you can negotiate your way through. I'm sorry, it's not the place for you. Okay. So let's get a look over our research success. My students have gotten into Stanford, Johns Hopkins full tuition, UC, Cornell, Carnegie Mellon, everything. They were part of my research program. The student who got into Stanford, she did our research, used the research paper to get into the MIT Biomed program. And that's how she landed into Stanford. She did have other ECs, but one of her ECs was what we had provided. So all these are the colleges that my students have gotten into. And I want to address the challenges that students face learning AI in high school. Okay, so that's something that I want to address here. Basically, they don't get the kind of direction or guidance or mentorship. Get it? They don't have access to university professors or AI experts. They also have insufficient practical experience in AI models or projects. Got it? So I have to tell you this, that a middle school student kicked ass in our hackathon. This middle school student won the hackathon because this kid had really written a very good decision tree and created an LLM. Okay, our hackathon was on Sunday, and it was such a pleasurable experience to see all these students coming and spending that 2 hours in trying to solve the problem. Right, so that's pretty amazing. And also, they have limited access to publishing their research paper or anything. Right, it's what it is. Right, the school curriculum can only do so much. You cannot blame them for that. Right, and external programs, they fall short on that because the deep learning, the foundational learning is sorely lacking. Everybody wants to get into the AI bandwagon, but the foundation is not built right. Okay, and there's no building AI on top of that. Got it? And so let's get into it. How do you get certified in AI ML in high school? Okay, so the benefits of getting certified are like they really look good on your college application. It goes into the honors section. Okay, you have 10 extracurricular activities and 5 honors and awards. So the certification goes right there. Even including my son had certified in Python before he was applying to colleges. Okay, AI ML was not that prevalent like about 4 or 5 years back, so he didn't do it. He was more into crypto. He even got a Bitcoin ATM machine from Russia, and he spray painted it orange, but then he couldn't pursue because he was not 18. Okay, Bitcoin ATM machines all deal with cash, and he could not do that. So he was big on crypto and all that. Okay, and also it helps you with internship opportunities. Okay, the number one thing I see parents asking in my Facebook group is how to get those internships. And trust me, again, like scholarship, internship is given to students who are deserving and who are capable. Okay, and that is how getting certified is going to help you. Okay, and also having an exam in mind, you really learn something very, very thoroughly. Okay, if you just say, oh, I know Python, I give students assessment tests for Python, and they literally fail because they're all surface learners. Gen Z is a surface, they are all surface learners. What is needed is deep learning. Okay, that is what they're lacking, and that is exactly what we provide. Okay, I have the blueprint. If you see any of my programs, it gets into like greater depths. There's no fluff, there's no surface learning, there's no shortcuts. Got it? And yeah, so the steps to get certified. Choose the right certification program, check the prerequisites, preparation, the study materials, resources, expert guidance, and exam details and tips for success. This is something that that is very, very important. I did my AWS Solutions Architect exam when I was in Vanguard. I was in data governance in the AWS, right? So I was doing all of that. I really had to study for the AWS Solutions Architect. So I did post-it notes and I put it all over my room to remember all those concepts. And of course, had the I put. I mean, if you have Amazon Prime, then you can get the AWS tier and play around with it and everything, right? It was a lot of practice that I had to do. And there was this guy who offers like free AWS courses. I don't know, it was way back, like I'm talking about six or 7 years back. So that was what it is. And Anusha's husband is a big wig. He knows a lot about technology, and he came and said, Joe, you should make them do all these certifications, Scrum and all that. I'm like, Scrum is so boring. No, let's try this. So he came and he created the whole map for us, and that's what we've been trying to do. Okay, and I'm just going to share with you what all are there. So choosing the right certification program. So what we have identified are these 3 certifications that align with AI. Okay, and this is what Ishwar gave us. Okay, so the very first thing is the PCEP, which is the Certified Entry-Level Python Programmer. Okay, so this is what my son did before applying to colleges. In the pandemic, there was no school. He was home and he did all that. Then there's Cloud Practitioner, and learning is very, very hard. And it's not like I'm asking your child to do this overnight. It's not necessary, but you can still, the student can still pursue it and put it in their college applications that they're trying to do that. So any questions about these 3 certifications, please put them away and I'll address them. Any questions about, these are the 3 certifications that we'll be addressing, okay? And I'm going to dig deep into each one of them. The first thing is Python, okay? That is like extremely foundational, right? Even if you don't attempt AI now, Python is the king, okay? Any internship opportunity that you want to apply to in the future, within the high school, then you need Python. Okay, Python is fairly simpler and it's the most important language. Okay, so basically what's expected is for this certification, students don't need to know any Python at all. Mathematics is good enough. So they start programming from scratch. They understand the Python basics, the libraries and everything. And everything is included in the certification exam. And I have purchased the certification course materials, and we will provide guidance for them to do this. Okay. And the next is the AWS Cloud Practitioner. It's not as hard as a solution architect, but again, it takes a lot of work. Okay, so step-by-step process will be given to them. Having Amazon Prime, they will have to buy the AWS tier, create the S3 buckets and everything, and learn about the security and the compliance and technology, how the billing and pricing works, and all that kind of stuff. They need to do hands-on working around with that, and at the same time go write the exam. Okay, and again, it tells colleges that this student is trying to be a subject matter expert. It is a wonderful extracurricular activity. Okay, 99% of the students are not doing this. Trust me, they're not. Okay, And the next is machine learning specialty. My son warned me. My son is an AI DevOps expert at the moment in Moderna. Got it? He did his master's in computer science, but he decided to go into biomed pharmacy because he was so enthralled into that world. And there are not many computer programmers. Trust me, I tell you that, because Amazon, Facebook, and everybody rescinded the job offers, whereas Moderna gave him a very, very good offer. So there are I'll tell you again, it's not a trick. It's the honest truth that there are not many computer programmers or IT specialists in the pharmaceutical industry, which they're very desperate for, right? So that's what my son did. He got this opportunity in Georgia Tech to intern. He just tried everywhere, Moderna, Amazon, and everywhere. But when he went to Moderna, he would just go to every department and say, hey, do you want me to automate something for you? Hey, do you want me to automate something for you? He would do that for every department that he went around, the time that he spent there. He was also featured on the Moderna internship website for his contribution. Got it? So what happened is, after he went back to college to finish his undergrad and his master's, he did get an offer from Amazon. But then Moderna beat the Amazon offer, and he went there. Okay, and he's very, very happy because there's so much new things that's going on there, and he gets to be part of it, and he can like really grow and learn, right? So that is another thing that you need to look at. And he warned me that this machine learning specialty is extremely difficult. Okay, this is like the top tier when students have really mastered that. And also the reason why we are going towards AWS is that is the most common platform that is available. Any job that you're going to apply to, or any internship, they all use AWS. So that is why we picked the AWS machine learning, which is very, very, very hard, but you can at least start studying for it. You learn a good amount, which you can contribute in your internship or jobs that you go to. Okay, so basically it's a lot. They have their own SageMaker, and I don't even know half of it. But what Ninad, my son, did in the hackathon was he asked students to write decision trees and create their own large language model, which is the ChatGPT and everything. That was what the challenge was about. Okay, so the whole thing is about creating the decision trees, the LLMs, and all that. DynamoDB is their database. So all these are extremely, extremely hard, but it will give you sort of an authenticity or validation when you're applying to the internships. You can start learning about it, but it gets deeper into the AWS concepts. Okay. Okay, so next, the prerequisites and the preparation trip. Tips, basically, there's no prerequisite required. We're going to start from Python. Okay, basic math language is required. Time management and a study plan. So we will provide you a study plan for the students and expert guidance to answer any questions. Okay, so any questions, what we're discussing so far, please put it in here. Okay. Okay. So what expert guidance do you need that is essential for certification success? Okay, so basically, like it's like these are the kind of support that you need. The complexity of the material, it's extensive, right? So we do not recommend taking all of them all at once. Okay, so start with Python. AWS also, like it's kind of fun to go get the AWS tier and play around with it. Right, so it's like actual experience is what they kind of ask you to, and hands-on real-world scenarios. The Python certification, they will ask you like real situation and ask you to solve that and write the code for it. Right, so hands-on experience is very, very important. And exam preparation is like exam-specific questions, practice test, strategies, and all of that. Right, I had to, when I was giving my exam like 6 or 7 years back, I literally had to go ask my older son, how is it that he answered questions in SAT, ACT? I was an adult, but I was like stumped over the exam preparation material. It is important. It is important because passing an exam and a certification will really put your application right on top, because it shows the college's persistence and perseverance, that not only did you learn something, you went ahead and decided to take the exam, right? And studying for an exam is not easy, or going and giving that exam is not that easy, right? So these certifications are kind of hard. Okay. And yeah, access to support, that is what we have. I have, my whole family is like a bunch of IT experts. My husband is going to speak in Las Vegas on his focus is on AI in education. Okay, he consults. He's a solution architect for ETS that administers the ACT, the AP exams, and all that stuff. So he's going to speak in Vegas on AI in the education system, and that's the way it is. You get that kind of support, and also I'm going to share with you. I have another expert who will only focus on certifications, and he's going to provide us support. Okay. Okay, so this is part of our AI research program. Okay, so you have to learn the fundamentals of AI and machine language and everything. So you have to enroll in our research in AI program, and we will provide you support for all the certifications. Okay, so that's what we have. So this is how our research in AI works. You will be working with a university professor and AI expert who is the professor of University of Maryland. Okay, so she's going to teach. Then the students will also write a research paper, because that's super important. So students will create an AI model with the professor. They will write about the AI model with a creative writer. We will help you submit that research paper. And after that is when we start for the certification exams and everything, after the paper submission. So they need to get their basics done from on AI with our expert. And only after that, we will provide that kind of certification, because we need those basics. Okay. So this is, I'm not going to mention her name. She is a university professor from UMD. Okay, and she's a curriculum director. And when she gave us a curriculum, I was like pretty much blown away with the level of detail that she had. It was 15 pages, and she's running our spring research program, and she's pretty darn amazing. Okay, and this is our professor. He's a creative writer, licensed creative writer, who helps with writing the research paper, which is super important because I make students submit their research paper for publishing. Okay, and then this is our AWS expert. He's a he pretty much has all the AWS certification and everything.